Hello, welcome to the second installment in our ninth webinar series here. I'm Dr. Zandra Bell McRoy. I'm your virtual PLC lead for 6 through 12 band, and this is part two of our band director's greatest hits. So let's just jump right back in. So this is, like I said, part two of our greatest hits from Georgia's band directors, and I'm just getting some feedback from a few band directors around the state that I could corner and muscle a response out of. I wasn't able to get as many as I wanted, but that's okay. We're all really busy. I get it. And we have some great insights from some really solid band directors. So I hope you enjoyed this second half or second part. So moving on to our next band director is Paula Williams. Paula is the director of bands at the Ron Clark Academy. She's actually the very first band director that the Ron Clark Academy has ever had, and she started the band program there this year. And so um, Paula is a phenomenal educator. I've known her for years. I met her through working with the Athena Music and Leadership Camp, founded by Dr. Mari Roden. And we worked together the very first Athena Music and Leadership Camp. She worked percussion, and I worked with flutes, and we have been friends ever since. And Paula's an incredible musician and educator, and she is doing incredible work at the Ron Clark Academy. If you ever just have a few minutes and you want to just check out what they're doing over there, give it a look on their webpage or on their social media accounts. She's doing some great work, and the kids are amazing. So, like I said, Paula is the director of bands at the Ron Clark Academy, and something that she's done at her school and just as an educator. This is something that I've seen her do over the years that I've known her, like the 15 years that I've known Paula. She says, I believe in teaching band students to conduct from day one, moving with the music, finding the tempo, feeling the emotion, expressing through nonverbal communication, conducting immersive students in music making from the moment a recording begins. But don't stop there. Keep bringing students to the podium as they learn to play their instrument. Give them the opportunity to conduct their peers in rehearsal and in performance. You'll be surprised at the depth it brings to them as musicians and humans. Um, yeah, she's right. And I've watched her students year after year after year, no matter what school she's teaching at, her students know how to conduct. They know how to conduct well. They understand what you're saying as the conductor. And then when it's their turn to conduct, they say those same things verbally and non-verbally. They're very confident on the podium. And that confidence breeds confidence. So they're confident in their conducting. They become they're also confident in their playing. They understand what they're doing as a musician, not just from the standpoint of playing what's on the page, but connecting with the person on the podium. So Paula is she's the master of um, not just creating really great musicians, but helping to create really great humans. Her students are very respectful, um, very confident, very self-assured, self-controlled, and incredibly kind. And we can't forget that kindness matters. And Paula instills that in everything she does throughout her teaching day. Kindness is always at the top of the list. Everything she does with kindness and purpose. So I'm glad you all got to hear from Paula Williams from the Ron Clark Academy, and she's a great teacher. If you ever want to see some really masterful teaching and some out of the box thinking when it comes to music education, contact Paula. She's going to be a great resource for you. All right, so these are just a few communication ideas, and I kind of compile this from different people. Um, I know Chris Sampson that you heard from earlier. He uses Google Voice as well. At my school, my other director and I we use Google Voice, and it allows us to stay connected without giving out our personal cell phone number. Um, and it's just a great way to have that record of it. It is there in the cloud. You can see all the text messages between you and the parent, or you and the student, all the calls between you and the parent, you and the student. So it's just really a great tool to use. It's just something to think about. Um, this is something that I'm passionate about. I send out a weekly newsletter to all the students in the program, to all the parents connected to all the students in the program. And I also send it to our administrators and our athletic directors so that they can see what's happening in the band. So no one can say, "Oh, I didn't know." Yeah, you did. I sent out the the newsletter. Did you read it? I send it out every week. Make sure you get a copy. It just helps to keep everyone informed. And I send it out on multiple platforms. I I'd rather you get that newsletter 4 times than not get it at all. So I'm gonna try everything. I send it out through our grade book, and I send it out through our learning management system. I send it out through multiple apps that we use for communication. So I just want to make sure everyone gets it and everyone sees it. Um, and then using those multiple platforms to communicate with students and parents in real time can really help. Um, for example, on Friday nights, when you're going to get home a little later than you thought, making sure parents know, making sure everyone knows we're headed home, or making sure everyone knows, call time tonight is 6 o'clock for our 6:30 concert. Be on time and fully dressed and on stage, ready to go. So all those different ways of communicating are really helpful. A couple of free apps that we use. We use the Remind app a lot, but this marching season we started using the Band app. And what I like about it is that it has a lot of stuff in there. So the calendar is embedded in the app, and we can talk to them through the app. They can talk to us, and they can connect it to an event so that we can see what's happening. It's really been useful. It's been helpful, and we're going to give it a shot this year to see how it works. We also use a paid subscription service to manage all of the business, all the money and the volunteers and all of that kind of stuff. We use another system for that, but these are a couple of free apps that are really taking hold, and Remind is super popular. And the Band app, I think, is going to be in a close second. So I hope that's a useful tip for you. Now, the next person is Joe Pierce. He is a recently retired band director from Barrow County, and he gave me some feedback, and he's just such a kind um, human. He's really a very kind human, and he's that kindness spills over to his kids, and he's had an incredible career, and he has battled um, through some health difficulties, and is just an amazing person to see how much perseverance he has, and a musical talent. And so I hope that he enjoys his retirement. I have listened to his band several times, and they're always he always does a great job. And so I'm so glad that I was able to get someone newly retired, fresh off the battlefield, Joe Pierce, and he gave a really good classroom management tool. And his tool is, if I had students talking while I was teaching, I would say to them, "I'm sorry to be rude and talk over you. Just let me know when you are done." I would then either step to the side or turn away until they finished. Within 5 seconds, the talking would always stop. Afterwards, if necessary, I would explain they weren't in trouble and I wasn't mad at them. If their conversation was that important, I didn't want to be rude to them. He said he learned this strategy from one of his former administrators, and it solves a concern without conflict, escalation or disrespect. And so if you know Joe, you know that this is very him. He's very kind, he's very patient, and but he needs what he needs in his classroom, and he wants what he wants from his kids, and he's going to make sure that he provides an environment in which they can learn in a positive learning environment. And so to to do this, to de-escalate that and to put the ball in their court, is really important, and to model the types of behaviors we want our students to have. We want students to be kind and courteous, and this is a way to do that. So thank you, Joe, for weighing in on this topic, and enjoy your retirement. I'm so jealous here. Working with colleagues and administrators, these are three things that Christopher Sampson and I talked about. Again, he's a fairly young teacher, and this is a great example of learning. You learn so much in those first couple of years. And so he said that three things that he's learned is to be a part of the solution. So making sure that you are not always just complaining. You want to identify the problem, but then find ways to be a part of the solution. And by doing that, you're being solution oriented. So you're not focusing on being problem oriented. Like you don't want to focus on the issue, you want to focus on the solution. And then finally, when you're talking with your administrators, share the successes of students. It's so important. We don't want to just share the problems we're having. We also need to show the accomplishments of our students and the success that they're having. And then involve others in your program. So if there's a singing part in your music and a piece that you're playing, invite your chorus teacher to come in and work with your students on proper vowel formation and singing with good support and all of that type of thing. Um, if you have teachers in your school that want to get involved, asking them to come and maybe chaperone for a football game, or maybe hand out programs or welcome people to a concert. And then just inviting them to your events, even if it's not a full blown performance. If you say, hey, the kids are going to have we're going to have a quick run through today in preparation for our competition tomorrow. There's no football game tonight, so if anybody wants to stop by the parking lot to watch our show, and feel free and have or someone wants to, if you guys want to stop by the field and watch our show, feel free. So it's a lot of ways to involve other people, involve your other stakeholders into the program. When people are invested, that's when the kids start to feel like they're supported from all over the school. And so I took kind of those three topics of Chris's and I kind of stole them and made them my own. But these were three things that he really expressed about being solution oriented and sharing your kids' accomplishments. All right. So also working with others. This is kind of the theme. Um, Open performance is up to others. So this was a thing that became really important the past 2 years because the 2020-2021 school year, we were unable to have live concerts at all. So all of our concerts were virtual. So I made sure to send out the link to our virtual concerts to everyone on the faculty, all the staff, all the county administrators, everyone that I could think of. And then I shared that link with families so that they could invite as many people as they wanted, so that kids felt that there was still buy in and engagement um, to the program. And so we decided, hey, let's do that and keep that going this year. So we've been doing a lot of YouTube live performances. We are lucky enough to have a tech department in our county that is really attentive and really willing to work with us. And so they came and they streamed all of our concerts this year. And all of our concerts, except for our final spring awards concert, was all of them happened during the school day. And so that first, you know, kids were able to play for their peers. So we were able to invite classes from students from the school. And then also, um, we were able to keep down the number of people in the theater at a time. We had mask restrictions and visitor guest restrictions for a very long time in my county. So this was a way for us to make sure that the students still got to have a live performance without worrying about only one of their parents could come or only one grandparent could come or however, whatever we would have to do to keep the numbers down. And so we would stream our concerts. And so parents could watch it live or they could just watch the recording. They could send the link out to family and friends all over the country, all over the world for that matter. And so we actually had a parent to record our actual concert while it was streamed live um, that night. He was so awesome. He recorded it and made and like cleaned it up a little bit and made us some really nice recordings of our spring concert pieces that we were able to share with all of our families. So they got the YouTube video, which doesn't have the best sound, but he had professional sound recording equipment, and we were able to have some really nice recordings. And I didn't ask him to do it; he just did it because he's just hashtag awesome, and he buys into the program. And so we're just really happy that we have parents like that. And that is one way to kind of open up your program to more people and allow more people to see the work that you do. So I hope you're able to find parents like that and community members that are willing to be a part of your program, be stakeholders. We're not going to listen. I would play this for you, but we're not going to do that. It's okay. You can always find this on our on YouTube. All right, so that wraps up um, part two. So I hope you will. I'll see you in part three. I will post a link to that concert so you can just see what hear some of what our parent did for us, and he was awesome with recording that. I'll post it in our discussion board so you can have access to it. So, anyway, um, see you soon. Part three, right? Coming back. See you soon. Bye bye.